pom-pom on the top of my hat that looks so cute, but it won't fit in the frame. Boo. Just know it's up there.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm really excited. I'm testing out a new concealer. Well, I already have tested out a new concealer. I think there is finally a concealer that exists that holds a candle to the beloved Tarte Shape Tape. I literally have not gotten excited over a concealer like this in a hot minute, pretty much since Shape Tape. Nothing really has compared to it. However, Urban Decay just came out with their new all-nighter concealer, and I just tried it out today for the first time, and I was absolutely blown away by the texture, the coverage, the way it looks, the way it's been wearing. This was sent to me in PR, however, I am not being paid at all to make this video. They just sent it to me just like any other PR situation. So no, I did not purchase the product, however, I am not being paid to make this video. So, you know. So they sent me all of their new shades and this cute little package right here. This is actually adorable. I've already pulled a couple of them out, but this is all of them. It came with 14 shades, which is actually better than some foundation releases. So I think that's pretty good. So anyway, if this is your first time on my channel and you've never been here before, what's up and welcome. My name is Kait, and I would love for you guys to join my YouTube family. Click the subscribe button down below. That way you're notified every single time I upload a brand new video and you don't miss a thing. Without any more rambling, if you guys want to see what I think about this brand new concealer, then just keep watching. Alright, so I have them all right here. This is the little container that Urban Decay sent me. Container package. So you open it up and then I have all of the shades right here to choose from. So I'll usually use a medium light shade. This is the little press sheet that they sent over. So here are all the shades right here. I usually use a more yellow toned concealer. I don't really care for a pink concealer because my skin is a little bit more warm. So I'm thinking the light or medium light. So we're just gonna break these out and test them. Obviously you're never gonna go by the box swatch, but it's just weird that the medium one is lighter than the light. I don't know. I'm gonna just pop these out. I actually have not even opened these up yet. I'm filming this before I film the intro, so this is like super raw. Packaging on that is really unique. It looks like their all-nighter foundation, which is really, really cute. This gives you 3.5 milliliters or 0.12 fluid ounces. I am going to swatch these on the back of my hand. Oh wow, this one is light, light, light. Ooh, I like that. When you close it, it does like a little clicky. So here are the two shades. Up here is light and this one is medium light. So I think I'm going to either go for the light one or mix medium light with it. I think I'm going to start out with light. If I need to tone it down a little bit, I'll throw in a couple swipes of the medium light one. Just comparing it to a couple different ones, I do have the Naked Skin sitting here next to me. I really like this one. That's actually what I use to conceal underneath my eyebrows to carve them out. This is a much more wet texture. This one feels a little more comparable to Shape Tape. It's a little drier because there's more pigment to it. This one, they even said on this little press sheet that you will get more coverage than the Naked Skin concealer because they upped the pigment level by 73%. So that is quite a jump in coverage. Okay, so for some reason you do get more product in the Naked Skin, but if you use less, then I guess that kind of makes sense for a higher coverage one. Okay, so it does say to pat it in with your fingers. It says you need just a tiny amount because it's super, super pigmented. And then you tap it in to your skin with your finger, which is not something I usually like doing, but I'll give it a try. It says, or the Urban Decay Pro Concealer Brush or the Urban Decay Pro the finger brush, which I don't have either of those. So again, excuse the hat, my roots are just nuts and I just didn't want to show them. I know it's kind of weird to be doing a like skin video with a hat, but you know, whatever. Like I said, we're gonna start out with light. This is the light warm and they say you just need a tiny amount, so I'm gonna just do, oh wow, that looks maybe too light. I don't know how much to do. That definitely looks too light. I'm gonna mix a little bit of the medium light with it. I don't think there's anything in between these. This might just be something that I have to mix, which is fine. Okay, so it says to tap it out with your finger. The pigment is definitely there. This would be very challenging to do if you had nails. I don't right now, so it's fine. It seems to be blending out fine with my finger. This is just not a way that I usually like to blend out my concealer. I do like to bring it onto my lid This is definitely a drier formula. I don't know. This is looking like Shape Tape to me, which I'm actually pretty stoked about. Okay, look how much brighter this eye is than this eye. Like that is just a lot of coverage. It is going into my creases a little bit, but I also haven't set it. I do want to try this on this side with my sponge, which I just use this for foundation. It is clean-ish, but that's my preferred way to apply concealer, so I am going to try it that way, even though it recommends using your finger or a brush. I think a lot of us use blending sponges to do our concealer, so I am going to try it that way just so you can compare and we can see if there is any difference. I'm just going to mix the same way I just did. I'm going to put this light, which I think if I just use this, that would be way too bright, because you can already see over here how much brightness I got with the mix of shades. I will say I'm using significantly less of this than the Shape Tape. This does feel like texture-wise a little bit drier than Shape Tape, but it doesn't feel dry on my skin. So we'll see. Let's just go ahead and blend. This is just so much faster. And I always bring it over my eye because I usually just use my concealer as my eyeshadow base. Okay, I actually like this side better. I feel like I got more coverage. This looks lighter than this. Like I just see a little bit more darkness right here. I feel like my finger kind of picked up a lot of the product. I like the sponge side better, for sure. This sponge is the Flower Beauty sponge. You guys know I've been raving about this. I really, really like it. I just feel like it works really great, and it is super like soft and squishy. Very comparable to a beauty blender. Much more affordable though. If you guys haven't tried the Flower Beauty sponge, highly recommend. It's this is really interesting. I don't feel like I need to set it, and it is not creasing. I am gonna go ahead and set it just because I feel like I cannot just not set a concealer. I'm really hooked on my Too Faced setting powder. This is the Born This Way Erythritol setting powder. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm taking my Morphe G2. I love using this to kind of pack powder underneath my eye. So just going over, the powder's laying on top of it really nice. It's not looking cakey, which is good. And I'm not using a ton. I don't like to bake underneath my eyes anymore. I just feel like my skin is too dry for that. Just go ahead and set the top of my lid under my eye, and then I do kind of just drag it down a little bit. I'm gonna go down the bridge of my nose with the concealer. We're gonna just see how this works. I did wipe it off because I just feel like you really don't need much of this at all. So I'm gonna just take this down, and I'm just using light for this. And then I just do a little, just like that. So we're gonna see, I always leave this to sit for a minute, and I know that stresses some people out like crazy when they just see concealer sitting on somebody's face. But I feel like for your nose, you really kind of need to let it set for a second so that it doesn't just smear all over your nose and just give you a super highlighted nose, you know what I mean? Okay, had to change my battery of the camera real quick. That was the perfect amount of time to let this set. So I'm gonna just very carefully, whoa, okay, maybe that wasn't the perfect amount of time to let it set. Do you see that? That stuff is like set down. Whoa. Okay, good to know. It's like blending out okay now that I'm putting a lot of pressure on it, but holy cow, that stuff wants to set quick. Okay, that ended up working out fine. It does say that it is a modern matte, and I should have like thought about that because mattes usually set down really, really quick. So now that I've got this on, I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and just do the rest of my makeup real quick, and then I'm gonna hop back on after I have my makeup on. I've gotten to kind of like work with this with other products, and then I'll finish out giving you the rest of the info on this concealer and then give you my thoughts on it. What a transformation. So I did finish out the rest of my face. Here's my full beat glam for the day. Oh my gosh, I'm like living for these lashes. I always forget about them because they are so like large and in charge that a lot of times I reach for something a little bit more wearable, but when I'm on camera I love big fluffy lashes like these. These are the Bella lashes from New Balsam. So good. If you've never tried them, try them. So yeah, here is the rest of my face. Everything applied great with the concealer. It worked amazingly. I actually am living for the way it worked as far as contouring my nose. The pigment was so intense and just stayed in place that when I put the bronzer on, none of it stuck to where the concealer was. So it's like it almost contoured itself. I didn't have to try too hard. I just took this little brush here and just went like beep, 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 and it was done. It's like it kind of did the work for me, which was great because normally I have to be very like meticulous and careful like when I'm contouring it and just going like really slow. And I messed up a couple times and I was like, wait a second, it's not sticking to the top of my nose, it's not changing the shape. And then I realized that it just was not sticking to the concealer, which was awesome. This is definitely what I'm going to start using down the center of my nose to help me contour. Overall, I really like this concealer. I feel like this is the first concealer that I would definitely use with or over my Tarte Shape Tape, which is crazy. I feel like this is the first concealer that has come out that can hold a candle to Shape Tape. So that is a huge deal. This is like my ride or die, holy grail. But this I feel like works just as well. So the only thing is I kind of forget the prices, so I'm going to put the price on each side, Shape Tape on this side, Urban Decay on this side. This one I feel like you definitely get more product. Yeah, it's almost double the product actually. This you get 10 milliliters of product or 0.33 fluid ounces. This one you get 3.5 milliliters or 0.12 fluid ounces. So actually this one is almost triple the amount of product. However, I did feel like I used less product with this. You guys saw the small amount that I put right here. With Shape Tape, I would make a full-on triangle, so there's not really anything wrong either way. It just depends on what your preference is, really. This is a really dry texture, but I don't feel like it dries out my under eyes any more than the Tarte Shape Tape does. In fact, it actually looks great underneath my eyes right now, and I definitely have dry skin. So if you're concerned about, you know, this being a little too dry, you might not like this one if you have used Shape Tape. However, again, I do have dry skin and I feel like it looks really nice. I think I'm as zoomed in right now as my camera will let me go. I need to get one of those macro lenses so you guys can see like super close up. But overall, I'm really happy with it. I think it looks so nice. The packaging is adorable. It comes in a really good color selection, I feel like. Once again, I am in a position where a lot of times I fall kind of in the middle for concealers and foundations and all of that. So I would love to hear what people with lighter and really deep skin tones have to say about it, if the shade range is actually as good as it looks to me. I know that I'm not really in a position to judge a shade range, but based on the sheet of paper I was given, it looked like there was a pretty good variety. So I'm gonna be interested to see what other channels have to say about the shade range. Up to this point, I actually have not watched any reviews on this. I've seen a couple people pop up reviews in my subscription boxes, but I have not watched, just so that I could have a really raw first impressions and review for you guys. I think I went over all of the information on this. It does claim to last 24 hours. It is so late in the day right now that I'm not going to be able to do check-ins. However, I will update the description box down below to let you know how it looks by the time I take this off tonight. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick little review on this brand new concealer. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks comparable to Shape Tape? I personally feel like it brightened up underneath my eyes really well, and it did conceal. I don't have crazy dark circles or anything, but I do have darkness right here that I feel like it did a pretty good job covering up. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't yet, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and click subscribe before you click off into the YouTube universe today. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!